So I heard that there's some new medicines to treat Hep C.
I guess they're going to help even more people get rid of the virus?
Don't about half the people with the Hep C virus get rid of it with the interferon ribavirin treatment?
Yeah, but with the new stuff, my doctor said that about 3/4 are going to get rid of it. That's a lot.
I heard that Hep C treatment was hard, so I've been waiting for something like this for like a long time.
Okay, what about me? I took the treatment, but it didn't work.
You've probably been hearing a lot about the newly available Hep C medicines, like how more people will now be able to get rid of the virus. This is true, but that's only the good news. There are some really important differences with this new Hep C treatment that we all need to understand. Because for the first time with Hep C treatment, a new problem could come up, and that's called resistance. If we don't take all of our prescribed Hep C medicines every day and at the instructed times, our virus may develop a resistance to these new medications, and it would no longer be effective against our Hep C infection.
I didn't know Hep C could get resistance.
Resistance, isn't that when a virus figures out a new way to avoid a medicine's attack, and then that medicine doesn't work anymore?
That's right. We've never had to worry about resistance with interferon and ribavirin treatment, but with the new Hep C medicines we do. That's why they need to be combined with interferon and ribavirin and not taken alone.
I really don't know if I want to take those interferon shots.
That's understandable, because interferon and ribavirin do have a lot of side effects. Unfortunately though, the Hep C virus is so tricky, you've got to combine the new medicines with interferon and ribavirin. Otherwise, the Hep C virus will develop resistance.
I see. And if that happens, the new medicines might not work at all. But why do we have to worry about resistance now when it wasn't a problem before?
This is a really important thing to understand. If we skip any of our Hep C medicines, maybe because we weren't feeling well, or we just simply forgot, we're going to increase the chance of developing resistance, and then the treatment might just not work. So now, let's go over why that is.
The hepatitis C virus is amazing. It makes over 1 trillion new copies of itself in your body every single day.
1 trillion? No wonder I'm so tired.
And it's also tricky. Each time it copies itself, it makes about 1 genetic mistake. What that means is each daughter virus is slightly different from its mother virus.
So when you have Hep C, you don't have a lot of identical viruses in your body?
No. In fact, most people with hepatitis C have about 5 different families of the Hep C viruses in their body. The medical word for those families is quasi-species, and the members of those families are all slightly different from each other, too.
Okay, but how does that affect the new medications?
The reason we have to worry about resistance has to do with the medical breakthrough behind how the new hepatitis C medications work. With so many different versions of the Hep C virus in your body, you have a pretty good chance of having a few virus particles in your body that are only partially sensitive to the new medications. If there's enough of the new Hep C medicine in your body, then they will die. But if the level of medicine in your body goes down too low, then it might not be strong enough to kill those particular virus particles.
Okay, so I get it. If you forget to take your pills once or twice, those viruses won't die?
Right, and not just that, they can copy themselves over and over and become more and more common in your body.
So is that what resistance is?
Sort of, but there's actually even more. Remember how the virus changes a little each time it copies itself? Well, if it does that when the medicine is around, each new generation of the virus gets smarter and better at figuring out how to avoid getting killed off.
Eventually, you can end up with a virus that doesn't respond at all to the medicine you are taking.
Your virus has developed resistance, and those viruses will copy themselves over and over again, becoming the main virus in your body.
If there's 1 trillion new viruses in my body each day, that could happen pretty quick, right?
Yep, believe it or not. If you take one of the new Hep C medicines alone, without interferon and ribavirin, it only takes about 5 days to develop resistance.
Unbelievable. How did I never know about this?
Well, the reason is we were lucky. Unlike these new medicines, interferon and ribavirin didn't cause resistance. That's because they don't attack the virus itself. They instead help your immune system crank up your body's own natural response to a Hep C infection, so that it fights the virus even harder. And when that happens, your body attacks in a lot of different ways, by firing off antibodies, killer chemicals, and white blood cells, all at the same time.
It's like tossing grenades.
Right. But the new medicines directly attack the virus like a sniper with a rifle. They take aim at a vital part of the Hep C virus, and when they hit, the virus dies.
I get it. So all it takes is just one bulletproof vest to avoid the new medicine's rifle bullet. So we can see resistance to that medicine. But it's a lot harder to dodge the immune system's grenade, so we don't see resistance with interferon and ribavirin.
And that's why we still need to combine interferon and ribavirin with the new medicines. The old treatment provides the cover so the new medicines can come in and do their thing without causing resistance.
But remember, even with interferon and ribavirin around, you can still get resistance to the new medicines if you don't take them exactly the way you are supposed to.
Okay, so you skip a dose or just forget. Then that would mean the level of medicine in your body might get low enough so the Hep C virus can figure out how to avoid the attack. And that would mean the new medicines might not work anymore.
Plus, that new virus might even be spread around, and then everyone's Hep C might get harder to treat.
The important thing to remember is take all of your Hep C medicines all of the time. This won't be an easy thing to do. Hepatitis C treatment is no walk in the park, and it causes a lot of side effects. Remembering if you've taken your pills or not won't always be easy, and you may be tempted to miss a few pills when you're feeling really bad. But it's really important that you do whatever it takes to keep these things from happening to you.
A pill box.
A calendar.
An alarm watch.
A diary.
A very organized friend.
Don't let resistance happen to you. Hep C treatment is hard, but you can do it. Just plan ahead and do whatever it takes to make the treatment work for you.